Well, this is what we're going to be making today. This really beautiful venison pie, all encased in puff pastry. Beautiful. Come on, let's get cooking. So here we have all the right ingredients for today. We've got some beautiful venison here, some beef, salt reduced beef, oxo cubes, some low sodium soy sauce, rice bran oil, Swiss brown mushrooms, onion and bacon. Bacon, onion and mushrooms being the main flavours behind this venison pie. Rightio, let's start with the first correct sound. So we'll first start with our onion. You hear that? That is the correct sound. Now you should get that sound when you cut the onion. If not, you may want to try sharpening your knife, or maybe going to see the doctor, have your ears checked. But that is the correct sound. So I'll go on and chop up this onion and then we'll get on with the mushrooms. And that's the sort of size that you want to cut your onions up into. While they're sitting there looking back at us, I'm just going to put a pan on with about a tablespoon of rice bran oil in. Right, now I'm going to cut these mushrooms up. I've got Swiss mushrooms here, brushed. I like to use politically neutral mushrooms where I can get them, and these are perfect for just the occasion. Right, so firstly we'll put our venison in. And that is the correct sound. Right, so here are the rest of the ingredients. Because I'm just starting out with the whole production business, I don't have the recorded sounds for these three here. I've got a lot of venison sounds, but nothing so much for these three. So we're just looking to brown this venison mince, get some caramelisation there, and then we'll take that out, and then our non-sound approved items can then go in the pan. Now don't clean your pan out, because we want those flavours to come through. Right, there's our onions. Now if you can see, the colour of those changed quite a bit. They've picked up the brown fond from the venison frying, and that's all good flavour in there. Let's put some mushrooms in. These will release a little bit of water, but that's okay because we've already fried our onions. Right, and now in with our bacon. There we go. Now we're going to make our stock up, and while that's happening, we've been doing quite a few things behind those ingredients is back. Not quite sure how I feel about that. Right, let's get our boiling water, 2 stock cubes and 250 mils of boiling water. We'll want to stir that in. We'll add that along with the sound approved venison. Right, in with our stock. And in with our venison. Some soy sauce. Yeah, just a 3 3/4 squirts there. And we'll chew that through We're going to simmer this now for 20 minutes and then we will taste it. So lid off for this, because we want this to thicken, this gravy here to thicken at the same time. Back in a jiffy. Right, that gravy, we've got the right amount, but it's quite thin still, so we're going to have to thicken this up. For that we will require 2 tablespoons of corn flour or icing sugar, whichever you happen to get out of the pantry. I've got corn flour. Add to the corn flour 2 tablespoons of water and whisk that together. Right, so whisking is like this, just like that. Now whisking on high is like that. But I don't have a permit yet for whisking on high, so but I'm allowed to demonstrate it. Right, I've just taken this off the heat. Let's pour that in. Let's get this stirred through. As you can see, that's thickened beautifully. Absolutely wonderful. Now you can take this whole pan and stick it in a sink of chilled or cold water and keep stirring it every now and again for around about 10 minutes. That'll cool it down really quickly. Right, now egg wash for the pastry. 1 tablespoon of water plus 1 egg. So I'll come back in 3 hours and we'll have our egg wash all ready. Right, now it's the fun part, it's the pastry. So we're just going to, now that I haven't had before. But it shouldn't be a problem unless you look directly into the holes. But that should be alright. Rightio. We've got our pie dishes here. I'm going to cut the base for the pie about 1 centimetre in diameter more than the size of the pie dish. Okay, so I'll come back when we've done that. Right, there we are, all cut. And we can now just spread that flour in there. They look like they've got a little bit of water in. And then we can plop that in here. So this is the parts that were a little bit chunky, but that's alright. Just push into the bottom of the pie there, and then work the pastry up the sides of the pie dish. There we have it. I'll do all 4 of those and then I'll come back. Well, I can't tell you how disappointed I am in this pastry. Actually, I can tell you how disappointed I am, because I do have a permit for that. So I'm just going to continue doing these. Rightio, let's fill these up. And by fill these up, I mean don't fill them up. if you put too much in, they'll bubble over and squirt out the sides and onto the floor of your oven, and you'll hear them make an incorrect sound. So that's about right, just about half a centimetre below the lip of the pie dish. I'll come back in a minute. There you are, all full, and I didn't eat any of it. So I've just rolled out the top of the pie here, and then I'm going to grab this and I'm going to get, sorry for the arm in front of the camera, the egg wash, and just dab the lip. Then I'm going to put the lid on, and we'll just do that before we cut it. So we want to cut it off. If you don't cut it off around the sides here, it can make it really hard to get the pies out of the pie dishes at the end. So there we are. Now, to make it look nice and pretty, crimp it with a fork like this. Get one with 4 tines. And you want 3 vent holes. 1, 2, 3. And then brush the top as well. That'll give it a nice good golden glow. Do the other 3, then put them in the oven at 170 degrees. Right, that's the last one. And now I'm going to put all 4 into the oven. There you are, straight out the oven. They look absolutely fantastic. Right, let's get them out, have a try. Right, let's get this one out of here. Oh, couldn't be easier. Put them there. Right. Let's have a wee taste. Alright, well, in terms of looks, I don't think you could get much better than that. That looks beautiful. Right, let's have a little taste. Oh, that pastry is absolute perfection. Boy, oh, I'm gonna have to have more. Wow. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you make this at home because it will be so rewarding. Right, I'll catch you on my next recipe.